Hi, Navs here. I have to admit, I've always been a superhero fanboy since my dad brought me to watch Spider-Man 3 on the big silver screen when I was young. The MCU has been a part of my identity through my childhood and adolescence. I remember when this happened, and this, and this, when they lost, the shock of this, and when they won at last. These larger-than-life movies have given me spectacular moments that I will remember forever. However, in recent times, the state of the MCU has been in a rapid decline. The studio is continuing to head into a phase that seemed not thoroughly planned, with recent entries' qualities being mid at best, especially after the travesty that is Ant-Man Quantumania. It seems even the most die-hard fans such as me are starting to feel the superhero fatigue. Among the grandeurs of multiverses and quantum everything, all the stories lack the heart and soul where they once had. But through this era of slobs comes the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, an MCU project that exists outside of the confines of Disney. A miracle that has no reason to be this good compared to its peers. It is everything that all other projects post-Endgame aren't. So, why is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 so damn special? The Guardians have always been an anomaly inside this multi-billion-dollar operation, but in a good way. They are in the most spectacular and outrageous setting compared to other characters that are based on Earth. But their stories are often the most grounded and emotional. While other MCU projects in recent years felt like products with the sole purpose of just making as much money as possible by pumping fan service cameos every other scene or setting up a Disney Plus show that no one will care about, the Guardians are telling their heartfelt stories in their little corner of the universe. So, what makes these bunch of C-listers so special along with the likes of Iron Man and Captain America? There's only one answer to that question: James Gunn. The constant that has been steering the Bowie since the beginning. James Gunn took these bunch of nobodies and made them into the icons they are now. To me, what made the ending of this trilogy so special is his care, his love, his embrace towards this ragtag found family of the Guardians. When we take a look at other Marvel movies, not many directors have so much love towards their characters, but James' persistent angle in finding beauty in the flawed beings will always make us care. His empathy towards the abused, the abandoned, the tortured soul made me care. If you tell me in 2014 that after seeing the likes of Iron Man, Captain America, and the God of Thunder forming the Avengers, the next team will be the Guardians of the Galaxy, I will exactly have this reaction. Who? It is because they are never the biggest of names in the comics. Not many people know about them, but James did. He is maybe the biggest Rocket fan, and he had his sights set on telling their story. Without the heart and soul of James Gunn, there would never be any Guardians. And Volume 3 is the epitome of his love towards them. Not only did we get to see Rocket's backstory unfold, all of the characters also had a resounding conclusion for the journey that they have been on since the first one. Volume 3 further explores the central theme of pain that had been causing them to push others away, while concluding on the importance of self-acceptance in order to let people in is profound and daring. It might be on the nose, but it is a much-needed antidote for those who are suffering or grieving. Other than story, the visuals are also superior compared to other recent below-par Marvel projects. From the set designs to makeup, it is handled with so much care. In the digital age of blockbusters filmmaking, where even practical sets are more or less redundant, James Gunn made sure the world he was building felt real. Of course, there are still a lot of CGIs used in the movie. We're talking about a space fantasy where there is a talking tree and raccoon. But The visual effect doesn't feel like it is rushed and used adequately to accompany physical sets. You may think that it is a minimum requirement for these mega budget movies made by billion-dollar companies. Well, in these, visuals are also accompanied by the most extravagant colors you will ever see in the MCU, while other movies are color graded in the gray household Russo brothers style. James Gunn actually tries to make this as eye-catching as possible. This is by no means something groundbreaking in the filmmaking scene, but when we take a look at all the blockbusters that have been churned out in recent years, it is all but different and dazzling at the very least. Lastly, Volume 3 actually feels like it is a resounding ending, while the MCU is embracing the never-ending nature of the comics. The Guardians story has their foot stop written in the end. There might still be a post-credit scene saying they might return, but this specific band of misfits will no longer be seen together. The stories have all been tied up magnificently by James. He successfully concluded the story he wanted to tell since the first one. Every single one of the members has found their place in the vast universe and is ready to move on, which is the same for James. The Guardians will always be his family, and as he sails on to DC, his swan song with Marvel will be his final goodbye. Saying goodbye might hurt, but the Guardians prove that it is by this found family and by letting people in can they themselves heal from the scars left by their past traumas. This is exactly why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 feels so special. It actually had a vision behind it. It is not just a cash grab churned out by Disney, but a personal passion project made by James to conclude his stories. It is a celebration for the flawed beings and outsiders, a reminder of self-acceptance and glorification for found families. It is not a step towards the multiverse or set up for the next phase of the MCU, but a heartfelt self-contained story aimed to conclude the journeys of these damaged souls in finding peace. Marvel might continue to churn out more movies with the Guardians, but none of them will ever have the heart that is James Gunn. And as the Guardians end their journey and fly away to the forever blue sky, it also lets me say goodbye to this franchise that taught me to accept love even through pain. Finally, the dark days are over.
Happiness hit her like a train on a track, coming towards her.